Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, August 11th, 2015. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. While the two main political parties here are in full support of a geothermal energy exploration plan for SVG, the opposition New Democratic Party is questioning the government's financing plan for the geothermal project. Debate on the Geothermal Resources Development Bill commenced earlier today in Parliament, and Prime Minister and Minister of Energy Dr. Ravi Gonsalves in his address says geothermal energy is both a major source of electricity and a sustainable and renewable source of energy. To carry out the geothermal exploration works in SVG, the government has engaged and partnered with Emera Caribbean and Reykjavik Geothermal out of Iceland. The project is estimated to cost just over $80 million. However, Prime Minister Gonsalves today told Parliament that among the objects of the project is to reduce and stabilize electricity prices in SVG and to provide a reliable supply of electricity to Vinlex consumers.
Increase our country's national energy security, reduce foreign exchange outflows, reduce greenhouse gas emissions and protect the natural environment. The project is to be built and operated in a safe manner and to provide investors with an agreed rate of return on their investment. Where we are at the moment, the recommendation has been made that the project advance to the drilling phase. The estimated cost of the drilling phase is about 32 million US. Mr. Speaker, the resistivity campaigns confirm that the Soufrière area hosts a geothermal reservoir in excess of 240 degrees centigrade. Drilling sites have been identified on the windward side. A detailed infrastructural assessment has been carried out.
Dr. Gonsalves adds that it is estimated that 30% of the total project cost will be spent on drilling. He adds that the upstream exploratory and drilling phases involving significant capital are considered the riskiest parts of the geothermal project development.
Always been the position of the government. Never mind that there are some persons to the contrary have said that we don't consider these things. We have gone about this thing in a very proper and scientific manner. But Mr. Speaker, our partners who are very experienced, Emera and Reykjavik, have sought to mitigate this risk by extensive surface exploration prior to engage in the more costly drilling phase. I want that again to be repeated. That Reykjavik Geothermal and Emera have sought to mitigate this risk. That is to say, this risk of the upstream exploratory and drilling phases being involving the significant capital is the riskiest part of this development project. But Emera and Reykjavik Geothermal have sought to mitigate this risk by extensive surface exploration prior to engaging in the more costly drilling phase.
Meanwhile, Dr. Gonsalves says between the period 2012 through 2014, the St. Vincent Electricity Services Vinlec spent roughly $21 million on fuel every year, and adds that a 12 megawatt geothermal plant will save SVG approximately $13 million per annum on fuel imports.
Based on the initial assessment, a plant over 15 megawatt would be too large for the Vinlec system demand. As an example, an 18 megawatt would operate at full load for less than 1,500 hours per year. Individual units will then have to be shut down or operated at very low loads for extended periods. The capacity factor would be only 65%. And diesel generating units would be idle for most of the time. So that you have to measure what is the size, and this is what the experts have said to us. So too big a geothermal plant would result in underutilization and a poor return on investment. On the other extreme, too small a plant, below 10 megawatts, would not recover the investment in resource development and would result in Vinlec continuing to rely on imported diesel fuel. The optimum plant size will be determined when drilling is complete.
And leading the debate for the opposition New Democratic Party was Area Representative for West Kingston, Daniel Cummings. Cummings says there can be little doubt that if properly done, the exploration of SVG's known geothermal potential can derive considerable benefits to all the people of SVG.
This side of the House has been for a very long time urging the government to take seriously this issue of geothermal energy. It is nothing new. We have sought to allay the fears of persons about drilling next to Soufrière and some far-fetched implications, because some people don't seem to understand that there are geothermal plants in operation for over 100 years. The technology also has seen tremendous advancements over the years, both in terms of the exploration and the production methodologies. As I have said on many occasions, this government has missed the boat. We have missed the opportunity to plan and to implement.
Cummings, however, made known NDP's displeasure with the financing agreement for the project and says it is an agreement that is not in the interest of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Cummings accuses the government of signing on to an agreement that will see the people of this country being robbed of their natural resources to outsiders who are gambling and expecting big returns on their investments.
That is what this project is about. My goodness, don't we care about the people of this country? The resources there for the benefits of all of the people of this land. Why are we going to pick out these people to bring money and get returns? First, those power agreements, which we don't know nothing about yet, secret documents, those power agreements bind us to making sure that those people first put their hand and break the cookie and take the lion's share. Whatever crumbs left, we can spread it across the people of this country. An NDP administration will revisit this agreement. They won. Because we have to look after the interests of the people of this country. We will revisit it.
Leader of the Democratic Republican Party, the DRP, Anicia Batiste, says the New Democratic Party, the NDP, does not respect the intelligence of Vincentians by presenting what she describes as an indefinable honorary citizenship proposal. In an interview with SVG-TV today, Batiste questions the intention behind the NDP's offer and says that the proposal is an attempt to manipulate the minds of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for political gains.
This date, I still have questions about what exactly honorary citizenship means. Yet the promise has been made and we are being told that over time it would be defined based upon discussions with the Garifuna people as well as with Vincentians. How can you present a promise of something like honorary citizenship without first researching and determining what it should entail, so that when you come with the announcement of that promise, you can define it thoroughly and leave no questions and no uncertainty about what exactly you are saying? I find it is disrespect of Vincentian's intelligence, and it comes over as an attempt to manipulate the minds of the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines for political gain. You ought to have done your research before and be clear on what you're saying honorary citizenship means before you come and make a promise of such a nature. I frankly think that the opposition NDP has lost their mind on this matter.
But he says the DRP is not involved with divisive partisan politics, but is concerned with the treatment of all people of this country.
The DRP respects all Garifuna, both those right here at home in St. Vincent and the Grenadines who are Vincentian citizens, as well as those who reside abroad and who call St. Vincent and the Grenadines their original homeland, who speak of the fact that they are descendants of those who once resided here. We respect all of them the same way. We believe that they have all been endowed by the Creator God with inalienable rights and freedoms, as with all of humanity, and therefore we respect their rights and freedoms. As such, we are concerned about their treatment, home and abroad, like with humanity generally, and we're certainly concerned about the way those who live right here, who are born and live right here, are treated. And we have to be careful that the focus has been moved to a political argument for political gain, rather than looking into the welfare of our people right here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, including the Garifuna people.
The Vincentian public is expressing concerns over how the new Democratic Party, the NDP, will go about implementing its proposed honorary citizenship for Garifunas across the world. SVG-TV News Today took to the streets of Kingstown to get the public's view on the NDP's proposal and whether they think Garifunas across the world are deserving of equal or even lesser rights as Vincentians. Persons were also asked whether they are satisfied with the handling of the issue by the two main political parties here.
This is 218 years you're talking about, that our people from this soil was taken from here and treated in that way and so forth. I feel bad about that, and I'm in sympathy with how they were treated, and they were taken from here, some lose their life and so forth, okay? And this is the homeland. But my take on that, they're coming back here, a lot of things have to put into place. For example, what I look at, right? Let me say 7,000 come here, 8,000 will come here, I don't know. But then I look at the infrastructure we have. Medical care, place to live, jobs, and all these are taken into account. So it must be sorted properly and done in the right way to be successful.
Do you think that the two main political parties are dealing with the situation, well?
No, they're not. I find they're a little bit more polite, a little bit more thoughtful to what they say, and be more considerate in the way they speak about our Prime Minister and so forth. They could be a little bit more polite in the whole thing. They have the points, but the way they get it across, it could be a little bit more in a better manner.
I think that they should get the same rights because originally they came from the land here at St. Vincent, and it wasn't really their choice to leave the island originally, but it was something that was probably imposed on them to go. So their descendants probably still remain here, so I believe that they should be given all rights as Vincentians.
Do you think the two political parties should be a loggerheads over something like this?
I don't believe so, because although you are two opposing parties or two parties fighting for the same, you're fighting for the same people, which is your people in St. Vincent. So I believe that you should have the good of the people at heart, and there are certain things that you should come together and agree on. Although that you're opposition, that does not mean that you have to oppose everything that the party is currently doing in the island. There's some common ground. Once it pertains to the betterment of your people, I believe that they should go with it.
I think they're entitled to equal rights. They were forcibly removed from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I think they deserve all the rights as Vincentian.
How do you think the political parties are dealing with this? Some people feel that they're too much of a tug of war and so forth. How do you feel about how the political parties, the two main political parties, are dealing with this situation?
I think each political party have their view of it, and I think that we need to just put aside that it's a national issue, and we should bring the Garifuna as a national issue and not put it to a political issue on the issue of that.
They also should get rights as well, and knowing how the world is now, I believe in human rights, so I believe that they should get rights as well.
And they passed on many years ago, so their offspring would be like so without. They want to be able to adjust to here because they never live here. Nor do they have anybody ever live here. That's my opinion.
But what if they don't live here but they still have the honorary citizenship?
Why should they have honorary citizenship? When does the generation stop?
And what do you think about the political parties fighting and battling, one saying that it's a good thing and the other saying it's not a good thing?
I don't think it's a good thing because, I mean, you're uprooting somebody from where they were to bring them to somewhere that they doesn't know.
People from Belize, Guatemala and all those countries, right? Now you're giving them honorary citizenship, which means you're giving them access to this country, right? Now what we don't know is the impact or the effects of this access that they will have to this country. Now we're dealing with people who have grown up in a whole complete different environment all their lives. We don't know if they're going to use it to an advantage that will be both, what should I say, consistent or in harmony with the citizens of our country, or if they're going to use it to the disadvantage of the citizens of the country, because they can very well make use of it for criminal purposes.
Honestly, I don't have much take on this right now.
They should study it carefully first. Do not just jump into the decision right away without having a proper discussion with the public and the politicians.
So, and you think that the politicians, do you think that the politicians are dealing with the issue, with care or?
Well, I think they need to come together and come up with a solution to the problem. Because no use we make decisions and then we have to sorry in the end.
As the government continues its over $1.5 million summer road cleaning exercise, persons employed by the program say the money could not have come at a better time. SVG-TV News earlier today spoke with some of the road cleaning gangs about their thoughts on the initiative and how the monies from the job will be spent. Most persons say the monies will come in handy to pay outstanding bills and to get their children ready for back to school.
You're going to use the money, you say, to ensure that your farm and some bills
build up my farm, and so I'm very glad for it, because I do a day work in the ground and so on, it is not enough. So glad for the 7 days that I get. And I sure plenty mothers that have children going to school, we're glad for it too. So we thank, whoever lead with it, do good for us.
And you're a farmer as well?
Yeah, he's a farmer.
The monies that you have now, you earn, what are you going to be using it to do, to spend on?
Well, you get many things I have to do. I have to go caravan and things, make some shopping and things, to go down caravan.
So you're going to look for employment at Caravan as well?
Yeah.
So you're not really employed now?
Not really, but I just be happy the time.
I feel good about this program because it could help a lot of parents who don't have it to buy school stuff for their children. It could help a lot, yeah.
And what will you be doing with this money?
I will be by helping my parents to think books and buy school uniform to wear school.
Well, you see, I got my little girl going to school, and this money will come to be a proper program, send my girl to school and so. So I got still for the little work. I'm not going on right now. Hoping for the better one of these times, for one of these days. Yeah.
So you're not currently employed right now?
Not right now. Yeah, nothing going on right now. Things kind of really hard right now out here, so just have to take away right now.
So you say that the monies will be used to help your school children?
Basically? Yeah, of course. I got a little daughter going to the secondary school. Yeah. So this money will come in to support my child and support my family as well, Yeah.
Well, as a single parent, I'm using it towards my children stuff for school, education, and whatever necessary items that they need for school.
Are you employed otherwise?
Well, it's a part-time cleaning.
So this extra money comes in really handy.
Exactly, because I'm renting, so the situation there.
Refurbishment work currently being undertaken on the Milton Cater Memorial Hospital's neonatal maternity ward and kitchen areas are set to be nearing completion. The refurbishment works at the hospital forms part of a health sector modernization program under the European Union's 10th EDF project. The project is being carried out by Hutchinson Construction Company Limited, HCCL, and site manager Anne-Therese Dabrio is assuring the public that work on the neonatal maternity ward and kitchen at the MCMH are nearing completion. Dabrio states that only finishing touches are currently being done at the maternity ward.
Currently we are at the finishing stages where we are putting in fixtures and fittings. We have 90% of the ceilings completed. We have about 70% of the lighting to be done. We have the lights already, so they're just to be installed. And we are currently awaiting the flooring, vinyl flooring, to be installed. They should be here within the next 2 weeks. So we have also the main operating theater on the other side, which will be retrofitted when we get to go up on the other floor. They will bring down the equipment, retrofitted, and we'll have Theater 1 and Theater 2 operating in this section until the works are completed.
And the General Manager of HCCL, Richard Hutchinson, says while they are working speedily to get the projects complete, they are also ensuring that works are executed properly.
One thing I want to bring to your attention is HCCL has, and we do understand the urgency of having all these medical facilities being renovated at the same time. So what we have done in the past, as we know, as I said before, MESPO is 2 months ahead of schedule. But the hospital, this one, and mental health is a little bit longer in coming because of the age of the building, because of these renovations, is more of an unknown than an actual known, because only when they get in you would know. And with some of the challenges we had for here, we had the physiotherapy area and the record room, as you know, you couldn't even go into that area. Now the consultants along with the central planning and the government and the ministry have decided and taken the extra effort to actually get the slab done, put in some windows, and at least make it accessible for final retrofitting whenever that is possible.
The Sandhill Clinic has again been targeted by thieves and was on Sunday night robbed of several medical implements and supplies. According to reports, a nurse opened the clinic shortly before 8 o'clock on Monday morning and was shocked by the confusion inside and the ransacking of the clinic. The nurse also discovered that a number of items were missing from the health facility, including blood pressure monitors, a computer, and condoms. While police are said to be investigating the break-in, it was found that the burglar bars at the side of the building had been cut and used as an entry point for the thief or thieves. Meanwhile, some residents of Sandhill are expressing their displeasure over the break-in and say the clinic is a great asset to the community.
Very bad and very sad. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be trying to protect the clinic from anyone breaking in it, because it's very useful for us over here. We don't have to go all the way to the hospital. We could just go over there to the clinic. And many morning I hear people going over there to see the doctor because they have to go to work, and it's quite very convenient for them just to go over there from Sandhill to over here.
Why I say now is against the law of breaking and entering in the hospitals and them things and taking out things what, well, it's still a hospital, I will call it, because children need certain tendance, and you can't blame the government. The people them need to do better position in the country than blaming the government. Well, taking the supplies, well, I saying man is a bad thing to the country, right? That's all I have to say.
Very terrible, and it will put us, well, in the area, to put us back a bit in that sense. And
how you feel about the stealing of the supplies?
Well, I think that is totally out of order. I think that's totally wrong. And maybe we have to start to do something about the security, I guess.
12 local gospel artists will on Saturday, August 15th, vie for a recording contract in the finals of the Singing Like the Stars competition, which will be held at the Russell's Auditorium. The event, which is the brainchild of executive producer Hayden Billingy, is aimed at giving gospel artists an opportunity to shine while using their talent to minister for Jesus. Billingy, who believes that there is immense talent in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, says oftentimes Christians fail to get the recognition that most secular artists get. He adds that he is very impressed by the creativity of and writing skills of Vincentian gospel artists.
When we realize that many gospel artists want recording, and every year we see an influx of artists that would be performing and recording in a secular arena. So we're creating an avenue, a platform for these upcoming gospel artists to showcase their talent. So we thought we would just do a show and let them sing it like the stars. So they're doing original songs, all original songs, and they're vying for recording contracts.
One of the finalists, Kirk George, says he is pleased that throughout the process he was able to enhance his performance skills.
Opportunity. We've learned a lot from the workshops, from when we're rehearsing with the band, how to make our dictions better and how to pronounce our words, also how to keep in key. So it's a really good opportunity so far, and each step is a bit challenging, but it will be worth it in the end. My God is real, yes I know He is. He'll give you all that He promises. What He's done for all is just to show He's kind and true. He'll do the very same for you.